Hope everybody's doing good. Today we have yet another project. Today we are going to change the impeller on the motor. So the very first thing we need to do is close the seacock, so when we take this cover off of the impeller we don't have a big leak. So let's take a look at where that seacock is and let's go shut that off. Alright, so here we are in the back of the engine. You can see the drive shaft right here, and the stuffing box, and the seacock we need to shut off is this guy right here. So we got him shut off, so now we can take the cover off the impeller and we don't have to worry about water rushing in. So for most of these boats they have one of two types of water pumps. So make sure before you're buying any parts you know which type of water pump you have. We got an Oberdorfer. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but it's kind of fun to say. Oberdorfer. As you can see, it takes 4 flathead screws to get that cover plate off. There's a gasket and the impeller. So hopefully this will be a quick, easy job. Okay, so I just set up a bucket under the water pump, so that way the water that does come out doesn't make a mess. And on our wood floors, that water leaks right into the bucket. Looks like I got these screws loosening up. Looks like water is already starting to leak out a little. That's expected. So this is a good sign here. Our impeller still has all its blades. So that is, I'm changing it at the right time. If your impeller starts to lose blades and your engine's overheating, sometimes those blades can actually cycle through your coolant system, causing clogs. So you definitely want to make sure you're changing your impeller. You know, we don't run this motor very much, so you know, I like to change it every 2 years. That's pretty good for me. But we're in fresh water. If you're in salt water, I'd probably recommend changing that every year. But it's your boat, your maintenance. So you do what you think you need to do. Alright, I got the impeller back on the shaft. I got that locking ring back on there. So now I'm gonna lube up this shaft with a little grease, get that put in there, and then I got some Dawn dish soap. I'm going to cover this impeller with Dawn dish soap. That will make it easier to get in the water pump housing. Put on the gasket, bolt it up, fire up the motor, and make sure it's working. I got the new impeller on. Now I just got to put the gasket on, put the cover on, open the seacock, and then fire up the motor and make sure it doesn't leak. When you do this job, make sure you do not forget to open up that seacock again. Not sure if you can hear me. No leaks. Another job successfully completed. So I let the motor warm up and run a while. There's no leakage at the impeller pump. And actually, looking out the back of the boat, it appeared as though I had more water shooting out the back of the boat, which is great. Anything you can do to make your motor run a little bit cooler is ideal. After further inspection of that impeller that I took out, it was worn out. I think it was on borrowed time. It was still holding together, which is great. Again, I didn't lose any of those fins in the cooling lines, or worse, in the engine. So I think it was perfect time to swap it out, and happy I did.